Good afternoon, fellow Americans. It is a beautiful new year, and with this new year, we receive the chance to reflect on the individuals who have helped create, protect, and shape our country that we know today. There are so many men and women that helped this country become the greatest country on earth that I cannot name them all, but I would like to take a few minutes to talk about one man that deserves some credit. He was one of our founding fathers. He had an array of talents and was a great asset to the country. He helped write the Declaration of Independence, helped start several organizations, and he was an inventor. This legendary man's name is Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin helped write the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution. He was an inventor and a politician. He was a people person creating various groups and organizations. He received honorary degrees from Yale, Harvard, and Oxford, even though he was self-taught. Benjamin Franklin was a well-rounded man that helped so many people of his time and people after him. Benjamin Franklin started as a writer who wrote pamphlets about topics he was passionate about. This was to educate and inspire other people. He then kept the knowledge and chance to inspire people by owning a printing shop that published the newspapers. He created a study session for young boys who wanted to further their reading and knowledge of politics or various other topics. He joined the militia to help protect Pennsylvania. This is where he got some of his military background when he helped strategize fighting the British. He started to figure out how to use electricity, and that lightning was a form of electricity. With the discovery, he learned how to start harnessing and storing it, which future inventors will use to make their inventions work. For example, Thomas Edison would create the light bulb to have more efficient light inside of the house, and he used electricity to power these bulbs. With his studying of electricity, Benjamin Franklin also figured a way to protect houses from lightning strikes. He invented the lightning rod. This was designed to attract the lightning, hit the rod, and set it into the ground so the house does not catch on fire. Mr. Franklin also established the first fire department in the new colony. The fire department was a simple but a starting point for future firefighting. The men would pull a wagon that had water inside of and use buckets and ladders to try and put out the fires. The gear they wore were boots, a big coat, and a helmet. Now firefighters have boots, pants, coats, helmets, tanks that pump air into masks so that they can breathe while inside of the fire. For the most simple thought of a way to help save people and put out all the fires in the area became something very important today. He became a politician and used his writing, printing, and degrees to draft the Declaration of Independence. This inspired hundreds of colonists to fight against the British and want to be free and independent. He then helped create the Constitution of the United States to help all men know what they can and cannot do in the new country. Franklin's politician skills were not just used to write on paper, but to create alliances and peace as well. He was sent to France to ask for their help during the separation from the British, and he got the help from the French king. He was sent to negotiate the 1783 Treaty of Paris that ended the Revolutionary War. The Declaration of Independence and United States Constitution are used and talked about today constantly, whether it be from teaching someone their rights and what they are entitled to if they are not born here or become citizens, to saying what that person cannot do, inspiring people to be free and fight for what they believe in, have people research and read about what our ancestors advised for our country, even make sure the government is in check so we do not become what we escape from or our leaders have conflicting interests. Benjamin was an avid inventor. He created a more efficient stove, bifocals for seeing, lightning rods, fire departments discovered electricity. His invention of the stove heated the house better and used less fuel to do so. In 1750, Franklin sent Collision a letter proposing an experiment that would draw lightning through a 30-foot rod. He not only hypothesized that lightning and electricity were linked, but that metal objects could be used to draw lightning in order to protect homes from being hit. The experiment would later be tested and proven to be true and possible to direct the lightning to a desired location. Benjamin Franklin invested the lightning rod invented the lightning rod so that houses would stop catching on fire from being struck by lightning. The fire department was invented to put fires out, whether they were caused by lightning or by human fault. The discovery of electricity was one of the most memorable things. When one hears his name, they think of the kite and the key in the sky. With this invention, so many other inventions and devices were created and thought of to make life easier. Even though Benjamin Franklin owned a handful of slaves, he came to realize that slavery was wrong and set his slaves free. He proposed that every state have equal representation in Congress. He was the ambassador to Britain before the Revolution. During the Revolution, he was an ambassador to France and was also an ambassador to Canada. Franklin spent about half of his life overseas, learning and establishing good relationships with the new country's allies. Benjamin was also a great man that did so much for this country and truly wanted to make this nation a better place. He wanted to make the new place great for all that wanted to come and call this place home.